All right, so get ready for some serious brain tingles.
Brain tingles.
Because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of ASMR.
Yeah.
You know those whispery, tap-filled videos
Sure.
that have taken the internet by storm?
Absolutely.
Some people swear by them for relaxation. Others, not so much.
Right.
But one thing's for sure.
Yeah.
ASMR is a phenomenon.
It is.
And we're here to figure out why.
Definitely.
So,
It really is fascinating how something that started as a niche online community has exploded into this global phenomenon.
yeah.
I mean, we've got millions of YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah.
Dedicated Reddit forums.
Wow.
Even scientific research papers trying to unravel the mysteries of ASMR.
So we've got a whole stack of sources here, from Wikipedia
Yeah.
to Google Trends analyses, even some medical journals.
Oh, wow.
So we're ready to uncover what ASMR is all about.
Sounds good.
Why do people love it?
Yeah.
Does it actually have any benefits? And what's the science behind those tingles?
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's unpack this.
Let's get into it.
Starting with the basics.
Yeah.
What exactly is ASMR?
So ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mouthful.
It is.
But in simple terms,
Yeah.
it refers to those tingling sensations some people experience
Right.
in response to specific audio and visual stimuli.
Okay.
It's often described as a static-like tingling that starts in the scalp
Mm-hmm.
and can cascade down the neck and spine, sometimes even reaching the limbs.
Wow.
And for many, it's accompanied by a deep sense of relaxation,
Right.
calm,
Yeah.
even euphoria.
So it's like a physical sensation,
It is.
but triggered by things you see and hear.
Yeah,
No wonder people are calling it a brain massage.
that's a great analogy.
Oh, good.
And just like a massage,
Yeah.
the experience is highly subjective.
Okay.
Some people feel those tingles intensely, while others don't experience them at all. It all comes down to individual sensitivity and preferences.
Which brings us to those, shall we say,
Yeah.
interesting triggers.
Trigger.
We've got the usual suspects like whispering,
Right.
tapping,
Yeah.
and crinkling paper.
And those are just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, really?
The variety of ASMR triggers is truly astounding.
Okay.
There's personal attention, like watching someone meticulously perform a task.
Right.
Think Bob Ross painting those happy little trees,
Oh, yeah.
or someone carefully organizing a collection of objects.
Interesting.
There are light patterns,
Uh-huh.
role-playing scenarios,
Okay.
even the sounds of hairbrushing or makeup application.
Wow.
It's like a sensory buffet with something for everyone,
Okay.
or at least for those who are susceptible to the tingles.
Okay. But Bob Ross as an ASMR trigger,
Yeah.
that's both amazing and hilarious.
Yeah. What's interesting is that many unintentional ASMR videos predate the internet phenomenon itself.
Ah.
Bob Ross, for example, was creating those soothing visuals. Yeah.
And that gentle voice long before ASMR had a name.
Right.
But now there's a whole industry built around intentionally creating these sensory experiences.
Oh, wow.
From specialized microphones for binaural recording to elaborate setups designed to trigger those tingles.
And people are clearly hooked.
They are.
Our Google Trends analysis shows searches for ASMR have exploded over 200% growth in just 1 year.
It's huge.
So what's the driving force behind this ASMR obsession?
Well,
Why are people flocking to these videos in droves?
multiple sources point to relaxation and stress relief as the primary motivators.
Okay.
People are turning to ASMR to unwind, de-stress,
Right.
and escape the constant noise and demands of modern life.
Yeah.
It's like a digital oasis of calm in a world that's increasingly chaotic and overwhelming.
I can definitely see the appeal,
Right.
especially in today's always-on world.
Yeah.
It's like a mini vacation for your mind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another common reason, which you'll find frequently mentioned in both articles and the Reddit community, is sleep.
Okay. People are using ASMR videos to help them fall asleep,
Oh, wow.
finding the gentle sounds and visuals incredibly calming and sleep-inducing.
Interesting.
It's like a technological lullaby for the digital age.
So ASMR could be the answer to those late-night sheep counting sessions.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And some research suggests that ASMR might even induce brainwave patterns associated with sleep,
Oh, wow.
adding a layer of scientific intrigue to this whole experience.
Okay.
But it goes beyond just relaxation and sleep.
Really?
ASMR is also being explored as a potential coping mechanism for more serious issues like anxiety,
Wow.
depression, and chronic pain.
Okay, now we're getting into some really interesting territory.
Yeah.
Is ASMR the new self-care frontier?
Well,
Are we talking about replacing therapy with whisper videos?
not quite.
Okay.
While there are anecdotal reports of people finding relief from these conditions through ASMR,
Right.
it's important to emphasize that it's not a substitute for professional medical advice or treatment. The research is still in its early stages.
Yeah.
And we need more robust studies to understand the true potential of ASMR for addressing these complex issues.
Right. Always good to consult with a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
especially when dealing with conditions like anxiety or depression.
Right.
But it is fascinating to see how this once niche internet phenomenon is sparking scientific curiosity
Yeah,
and potentially offering new avenues for understanding the brain and well-being.
definitely.
Okay, we've got relaxation,
Right.
sleep,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even help with anxiety and pain.
Yeah.
But what's actually happening in the brain when we experience ASMR?
Well,
Do we actually know why it works, or is it still a bit of a mystery?
that's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
While the research is still limited,
Okay.
some intriguing findings are starting to emerge.
Okay, like what?
For instance, fMRI studies, which measure brain activity by detecting changes in blood flow, show increased activity in brain regions linked to emotion,
Okay.
empathy, and social bonding when people experience ASMR.
So it's not just a physical sensation.
Right.
It's actually engaging the brain in meaningful ways.
Exactly.
Well,
These findings suggest that ASMR may tap into the same neural pathways that are activated when we experience things like love,
interesting.
connection, and a sense of belonging.
Okay.
Other studies have shown that ASMR can lead to a decrease in heart rate, similar to what you'd see with other relaxation techniques like meditation or deep breathing.
Right.
This physiological response further supports the idea that ASMR is inducing a state of relaxation and reducing stress levels.
Okay, so there's definitely some measurable physical and emotional response happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about the link between ASMR and personality traits?
Oh, yeah,
I remember reading something about that.
that's right.
Yeah.
Research suggests that people who are more open to new experiences
Okay.
and those who score higher on neuroticism,
Mm-hmm.
meaning they might be more sensitive to sensory input and emotional responses, are more likely to experience ASMR. This hints at the possibility that individual differences in brain wiring and personality might play a role in how strongly someone responds to those ASMR triggers.
So we're all wired a little differently.
Yeah.
And some of us might be more susceptible to those whispery, tingly charms than others.
Right.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But this still leaves us with the big question.
Just that.
How does it work?
Uh-huh.
What's the mechanism that translates a whisper or the crinkle of a bag into those blissful tingles?
That's the heart of the mystery.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we don't have a definitive answer yet.
Oh.
Some researchers theorize it could be related to the release of certain neurochemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, which are associated with pleasure and social bonding.
Okay.
Others believe it might involve the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of our nervous system responsible for rest, relaxation, and digestion.
So ASMR might be hacking our brain's reward system.
It could be.
Or maybe it's flipping the switch on our body's built-in relaxation response.
Possibly.
I'm hooked.
Haha.
Tell me more.
Well, there's still so much to learn,
Yeah.
but one thing is clear.
Okay.
ASMR is more than just a fleeting internet fad.
Right.
It's a captivating phenomenon that's prompting scientific investigation and offering a fascinating glimpse into the power of sound and visuals to influence our mood, relaxation, and maybe even our health.
Okay.
But let's not forget,
What's that?
as with anything that gains immense popularity, there are bound to be some downsides, right?
Right. It's not all sunshine and brain tingles, is it?
Exactly.
No.
It's not all sunshine and brain tingles. While there's a lot to be intrigued by with ASMR, it's important to remember that it's not a magical cure-all,
Right.
and it certainly doesn't work for everyone.
Of course.
In fact, for some people, those same triggers that induce bliss in others can be intensely irritating,
Oh, really?
even anxiety-provoking.
So one person's soothing whisper is another person's nails on a chalkboard.
Precisely.
That's wild.
And it really underscores the subjective nature of sensory experiences.
Yeah.
What's relaxing for one person can be downright unbearable for another.
Right.
This is especially relevant when we consider a condition called misophonia.
Misophonia. I haven't heard of that one.
It's a condition where certain sounds trigger intense negative reactions.
Okay.
Anger,
Wow.
disgust,
Okay.
even panic.
Interesting.
Think chewing, tapping, or whispering.
Right.
Those classic ASMR triggers.
Yeah.
For someone with misophonia, these sounds can be torture.
Wow. That's a stark contrast.
It is.
It really highlights the diversity of human perception and how our brains can interpret the same input in radically different ways.
It does.
Yeah.
And it underscores the importance of being mindful and respectful of individual differences when it comes to ASMR.
Right.
What might be therapeutic for one person could be a source of distress for another.
Absolutely. Not everyone is going to be on board with the ASMR train.
Right.
And that's perfectly okay.
Exactly.
But even for those who do experience the tingles,
Yeah.
are there any potential downsides to consider?
There are a few.
Okay, like what?
One that's been reported is ASMR immunity,
ASMR medium.
where people who regularly watch these videos find that the triggers gradually lose their potency.
Oh, really?
They no longer experience the same intensity of tingles.
Interesting.
It's like building up a tolerance, but to whispers and tapping instead of, say, caffeine.
So even brain tingles can have diminishing returns.
It seems so.
That's kind of fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
It's thought to be a form of habituation,
Okay.
the brain becoming less responsive to repeated stimuli.
Right.
This suggests that for those seeking long-term benefits from ASMR,
Yeah.
moderation and variety are key.
Great advice. Switching things up keeps it fresh and exciting for your brain.
It does.
But overall, even with these potential downsides, it seems like ASMR is a relatively safe and accessible way
Yeah.
for many people to relax, de-stress,
Yeah.
and maybe even get a better night's sleep.
Right.
Now let's dive into some specific areas where ASMR is being explored as a potential tool for well-being.
Okay.
We've got ADHD, autism,
Yeah.
sleep, even headaches on the list.
Wow, that's quite a range.
Are you ready for a deeper dive?
Absolutely. Let's explore these fascinating possibilities.
First up, ADHD.
Okay.
Now, I know there isn't a ton of dedicated research in this area yet,
Right.
but I'm curious, how could ASMR potentially help people with ADHD?
Well, people with ADHD often struggle with focus and attention regulation.
Yeah.
And some find that mindfulness practices like meditation can be helpful in training their attention.
Right, finding that sense of calm and focus
Yeah.
can be a real game changer for people with ADHD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember how we talked about ASMR being linked to flow state?
Flow state?
That state of deep absorption and concentration where you lose track of time.
Yeah, that sounds pretty amazing.
It is.
Like being completely in the zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some researchers believe that the focused attention and sensory engagement involved in ASMR might tap into similar brain pathways as mindfulness,
Interesting.
potentially offering a unique way to improve focus for those with ADHD.
So instead of traditional meditation,
Right.
someone with ADHD could try listening to gentle whispers or watching someone meticulously organize a collection of stamps.
It's a possibility worth exploring.
Yeah.
Of course, more research is needed to confirm whether ASMR can truly help with ADHD symptoms.
Right.
But the anecdotal reports and the overlap with mindfulness practices are definitely intriguing.
It's like ASMR is opening up all these new avenues for understanding how our brains work
Uh-huh.
and how we can tap into different sensory experiences to potentially improve our well-being.
It is.
Okay, let's shift gears to autism.
Autism.
The research here seems a bit more developed.
It does.
What have scientists discovered about the potential benefits of ASMR for autistic individuals?
There's growing evidence suggesting that ASMR might be particularly beneficial for individuals on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
Many autistic people experience heightened anxiety, stress, and sensory sensitivities.
Yeah.
And research indicates that ASMR might help with emotional regulation,
Okay.
reducing those feelings of overwhelm and promoting a sense of calm.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like those gentle sounds and visuals are acting as a sort of sensory buffer,
Right.
helping to soothe and regulate those intense emotions.
Is that how it works?
That's the idea. The calming, predictable nature of ASMR triggers might create a sense of safety and comfort, making it easier to manage social interactions and emotional responses.
Right.
In fact, some studies have even found that ASMR can help reduce anxiety and improve social communication skills in autistic individuals.
That's incredibly promising, but I imagine there are also some caveats here. Definitely, while ASMR can be incredibly beneficial for some autistic individuals,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that not all sensory input is created equal.
Right.
Some people on the spectrum experience sensory overload very easily,
Uh-huh.
and certain ASMR triggers, like loud or repetitive sounds, could be overstimulating and trigger anxiety or discomfort.
Right. It's all about finding those triggers that are calming and enjoyable.
Exactly.
Not overwhelming.
Yeah.
It's so important to personalize the experience and respect individual sensory preferences.
It is.
Okay, next up on our ASMR exploration list,
Okay.
sleep.
Sleep.
This one seems like a natural fit, given its reputation for inducing relaxation.
All right.
And those tingly, almost hypnotic sensations.
It does.
What's the science say?
The science seems to back this up.
Okay.
Studies indicate that ASMR can help promote relaxation and induce sleep-promoting brainwave patterns.
Wow.
Similar to what you'd see during meditation or deep sleep.
So is ASMR the key to unlocking a perfect night's sleep?
It's not a magic bullet, but for many people struggling with insomnia
Right.
or simply wanting to enhance their sleep quality,
Yeah.
ASMR could be a valuable tool to add to their bedtime routine.
Interesting.
Imagine listening to soft whispers or watching someone gently fold laundry as you drift off to sleep.
Okay. I'm already feeling more relaxed just thinking about it. But how about headaches?
Headache.
I've heard anecdotally that ASMR can help with tension headaches.
Mm-hmm.
But is there any scientific evidence to support this?
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
While there haven't been any studies specifically looking at ASMR and headaches,
Okay.
there's a plausible connection. That's it. Tension headaches are often caused by stress and muscle tension in the head and neck.
Right. That feeling of tightness and pressure that just won't quit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even that ASMR promotes relaxation
Yeah.
and can help reduce muscle tension,
Right.
it makes sense to think that it could potentially provide relief for tension headaches.
So it's not a guaranteed cure.
Right.
But it could be worth a try for those seeking natural ways to manage their headaches.
Precisely. And this is all part of a holistic approach to well-being. ASMR is not a replacement for medical advice or treatment, but it can be a valuable complementary tool to help manage symptoms and improve overall quality of life.
Okay.
Now let's talk about anxiety.
Anxiety.
This is another area where ASMR is generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason.
Yes, I've heard from so many people that ASMR helps them calm down when they're feeling anxious.
Right.
Is there any scientific evidence to back this up?
There is.
Okay.
Studies have shown that people who experience ASMR tend to have lower heart rates and report feeling calmer after watching ASMR videos.
Interesting.
It's thought that the gentle, predictable nature of ASMR triggers helps to shift the nervous system out of that fight or flight mode and into a state of relaxation.
So it's like those whispers and taps are sending a signal to the brain saying,
Right.
hey, it's okay to relax now.
Exactly.
There's no danger here.
Yeah, and for some people, the focused attention required to engage with ASMR
Right.
can also be helpful in redirecting anxious thoughts and worries.
Interesting.
It's like giving the mind a soothing sensory distraction.
It's like hitting the pause button on that constant chatter of anxiety and tuning into a different frequency.
Right.
One that's calmer, gentler, and more focused on the present moment.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
It highlights the potential power of ASMR as a self-soothing technique.
Yeah.
And what's so remarkable about ASMR is that it's incredibly accessible.
It is.
Anyone with an internet connection can explore the world of ASMR and find those triggers that work best for them, like a global community of tingle seekers all sharing their experiences and supporting each other on the path to relaxation and well-being.
It's a beautiful thing. And it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Who knows what we'll discover about the therapeutic potential of ASMR in the future.
Who knows?
But for now, I think it's time for us to surface from this deep dive and reflect on what we've learned. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. What ASMR is, those fascinating triggers, the potential benefits, the drawbacks, even how it's being explored as a tool to help people with various conditions. I don't know about you, but my mind is buzzing with all these new insights.
Yeah, mine too.
But before we wrap up, let's shift our focus back to you, our listener.
Okay.
What's so fascinating about all this is that it really highlights that we're all unique, with different sensory preferences and ways of experiencing the world.
Absolutely.
What might be incredibly soothing and enjoyable for one person could be totally neutral or even unpleasant for someone else.
Right, exactly. It's like we've been saying, it's so subjective.
It is.
This whole ASMR thing.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really important takeaway from our deep dive today.
What's that?
It's a reminder to be open-minded and curious about different perspectives, even if they seem unusual or outside of our own experience.
I agree.
Exactly. And to respect those individual differences, especially when it comes to something as personal as sensory experience.
Definitely.
But regardless of whether you personally experience those tingles or not, there's no denying that ASMR has become a global phenomenon. captivating millions and sparking a wave of scientific curiosity.
It really has. It's amazing to see how this once obscure internet trend has moved from the fringes to the mainstream. I mean, it's popping up in Super Bowl commercials, being discussed on late-night talk shows, even being studied in academic research labs.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is ASMR just a fleeting internet trend?
Right.
Or is it something more?
Yeah.
Could it be a valuable tool for relaxation, well-being, and even therapy?
It could be.
That's something for you to ponder, dear listener.
Indeed, there's still so much we don't know about ASMR.
So much.
But the possibilities are intriguing. Perhaps those whispers and taps hold the key to unlocking new ways of understanding the brain,
Right.
managing stress and anxiety, and even enhancing our sleep and overall well-being.
Well, on that note of tingling possibilities, it's time for us to surface from this deep dive into the world of ASMR.
It's been a fascinating journey, and we hope it's inspired you to explore further and discover what ASMR might hold for you.
Exactly. Who knows, you might just discover your new favorite trigger.
You might.
Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, even the smallest sounds can have a profound impact.